Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 22 shows us Boruto versus Jura, and Jura asks Boruto, "What is love?" And he explains his definition of it's a flaw of human beings. It makes you act irrational. It doesn't follow any sense of logic, which is why he feels like the Shinju are maybe superior to humans, because like Boruto does, he risks his life, his mission, the overall future of the world, basically. Not that he knows it, but Jura is basically implying that he's sacrificing himself to help his friends, and that's a flaw, because if he had stayed out of the way, Jura wouldn't have shown up, they wouldn't have been in any kind of danger, but out of the slight possibility of saving his friends, he showed up. And Boruto acknowledges this and says, yes, maybe it is a flaw. Maybe it is a wrong thing of humans to have love, or you can see it as a weakness, but it's also the reason why you'll never be anything more than the divine tree. Did Boruto's words just inspire Jura? Meaning, if Jura takes those words and actually analyzes them, takes them in, actually reflects on them in the brief time that they've been fighting and dealing with one another, I think Jura might actually understand what he says and might think to himself like, maybe I should give it a try. Let me see if I can. Let me see if that will make me... Let me see if saving them or doing as he would do, going against the rational thing or the logical thing. The logical thing is to kill Boruto right here and now. You know what I mean? That's what's most important. But saving the other Shinju, is that also important or whatnot? You know what I mean? Like, Boruto just even talking about that much may have changed Jura's perspective and the future of what's to come. If Boruto doesn't show up, maybe he never has the revelation and the Shinju get destroyed and they get brought back, right? That's the whole plan. You know, their Thorn bulbs bring back the Shinki and Matsuri. That might have been the plan, you know what I mean? But there were some other variables as well. But you know what I'm saying, is that the people would have been brought back, and Jura wouldn't have cared the least about the Shinju getting taken over. You know what I mean? But because Boruto tells him, you're not going to be anything more than a divine tree because you don't have love, because you don't care about love. And so you see it as a flaw. And because he sees it as a flaw, he's able to not tap into it, not wanting to save his fellow Shinju. He's willing to let them go just to take care of Boruto, who's a real threat. So instead, Boruto tells him, you're not going to be anything more than a divine tree because you're coming after me. You're following your logic. You're following your rules. But if you change it, you could be something more. So did that inspire Jura? Did it inspire him to do just a little bit more? So maybe that pushes Jura to kind of go out there and say like, okay, I am going to go and save my fellow comrades. I am going to get the Thorn bulbs back. Even though I should or probably want to defeat Boruto, kill him right here and now, going after the Shinju or the Thorn bulbs might pique my interest, make me understand a little bit more about love, a little bit of like what it is to save somebody, to help somebody. You know what I mean? It could be interesting. It could be that direction. Because I keep on coming up with theories about Boruto getting saved by Kawaki or Kashinkoji or Mitsuki, right? Like, they're all going to come together and help defeat Jura right here and now. But it could also be the reasonable possibility that Jura just ignores Boruto and goes after the Thorn bulbs. Not that I think Boruto would just allow Jura to go after and hurt Konohamaru and the others. But you know what I mean, is that he's going to go after trying to save them. And that's where the half victory, half loss comes into play. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I think it could definitely inspire him to reflect on his words. I don't know if in the moment he'll feel it or really want to, but it is a possibility. I think it is. It feels like it could be a moment where Jura thinks about what Boruto's saying and say that maybe I'll just test out what Boruto's talking about. Let me see if he really knows what he's talking about. You know what I mean? Something like that. It would be interesting to see a complete shift in his, I don't know, personality or in his a shift in his logic for him to think to himself like, I'm going to go against my logical reasoning and go for the emotional route, which is my fellow Shinju. Maybe I shouldn't save them, but I'm going to because Boruto has piqued my interest by talking to me. Stuff like that, you know what I mean? So just thinking like that, I think that's a possibility. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah,